A report emerged overnight that the Jaguars are talking to the Las Vegas Raiders about a trade that would send pass rusher Yannick Ngakoue to Nevada. Ngakoue, franchise tagged and unhappy in Jacksonville. There was that Twitter war earlier this week between Ngakoue and the son of Jaguars owner Shad Khan. Now, as this goes, and I've confirmed that the talks are happening, and the Jaguars are believed to be wanting too much. Apparently, the Raiders are offering pick number 19 in the draft, the one that they earned last year with their one-loss record, and that the Jaguars want the 12th overall pick, the one that the Raiders got from the Bears as part of the Khalil Mack trade. So, look, I think 12 is way too much.
Way too much.
19, you could argue, is too much. Last year, the Chiefs gave up the 29th overall pick and a second-rounder this year to get Frank Clark. Dee Ford was sent from the Chiefs to the 49ers for a second-round pick this year. 19 overall seems like the right spot. Now, look, the Jaguars can keep asking for more, and maybe they get more. There's no harm in asking. But if the ultimate price is the 19th overall pick, I think the Jaguars should take that, and they should run with it, and that would give them 3 first-round picks in this year's draft.
I agree, Mike. I mean, that's just, to me, a little too greedy. First off, we know Yannick Ngakoue doesn't want to be there. So to sit there and just go, oh, okay, yeah, we want the 12th pick, not the 19th pick, I think that's insane. I don't think Yannick Ngakoue, as an all-around football player, is as good as Frank Clark. I don't. Yannick Ngakoue, geez, I mean, you could sit here and argue whether he was the best pass rusher on his own football team last year. I mean, Josh Allen was certainly very impressive. Their top 10 pick out of Kentucky. Now, I don't think he's as good as Yannick Ngakoue yet as just a pure pass rusher that way. But, man, if I'm Jacksonville, the 19th pick, I'm happy with that. And I'm taking those 3 picks in the first round. And, man, you just have such a great opportunity to change around your football team. And, I know they're trying to say they're not in a rebuild, but they're in a rebuild. And this would speed up that process exponentially to where you go, oh, man, Jacksonville could be a pain in the butt this year, let alone okay, no, it's only 2 years from now. So I don't really understand the hard line in the sand there and why they think that Yannick Ngakoue would really even deserve to be traded for the number 12 pick in the NFL draft.
And it's amazing when you think that the Raiders had Khalil Mack. They didn't want to pay Khalil Mack. Now, they got good return from the Bears for Mack. But the idea, and this always makes me uncomfortable, when you have a guy who was a high producer on your team, who was a great leader, a great locker room guy, and he has to get traded somewhere else to get his financial reward, and then you turn around and you give that financial reward, not exactly the same number of dollars, but pretty damn close to it, presumably, if the Raiders sign Ngakoue to a long-term deal, and it would be beyond stupid if they trade for him, give up a first-round pick for him, and don't sign him to a long-term deal on the way through the door. But the idea of giving that money to somebody who's never played for you before, that's a bad message to send to the locker room, Chris.
Well, it definitely is. I mean, that's understandable. But still, the locker room understands talent and especially, the specialness of that position, the pass rusher position. There's just not a lot of those guys out there in the NFL where you can just go, man, on a week-to-week basis, this guy is, he's hell for the other team to block and the left tackle to block, and he can create problems for us. And the Oakland Raiders, hey, listen, they kind of swung and missed with their number 4 pick last year. Clelin Ferrell, he's a solid football player. But I think they look at him and go, okay, yes, he's a solid football player. We hit a double with that one, but we didn't hit a home run. I mean, they took Clelin Ferrell out of the game in passing situations last year, like 90% of the time. So that tells you a lot there. Now the fact that they're in the market for Yannick Ngakoue, yeah, they're looking to have him across the field from Max Crosby in certain situations, and I'm sure they'll mix and match all these defense ends. But, Mike, I think ultimately it's not as a big deal in the locker room, maybe as we all make it out to be at times, because the players understand the business part of this.
And if this Farrell career goes sideways for the Raiders, man, that's going to be a blow to Mike Mayock, the GM of the team, because last year I defended the pick saying, hey, the reason why it's a surprise that the Raiders took Farrell at number 4 is because Mike Mayock's no longer part of the media to tell us that Farrell is a guy who should be a top 5 pick. If you swing and miss on a guy that no one is really putting in that stratosphere, that really, really delivers a blow to the overall evaluation skills of the person who made that selection of Farrell at number 4 overall.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.